And you're live.
Hello.
Now we're live. Now.
Yeah, I know we're live. Are we live? I'm
We're
back.
live.
Yes. Hello. I'm back. Yeah, I had to come back. I was going to have another week off, but I had so many complaints that I thought I'd better come back this week because you leave these lot to it, and you just look what happens. We had dear editor. I wish to complain in the strongest terms.
Dear points of view, why, oh, why, oh, why?
Yes, so if you have any further complaints, write to Points of View at Hilligan35. Yes, I'm back from my hauls. Yeah, I've brought the Lem back after its tour around the orbit of the United Kingdom. We returned safely, and I'm back for our usual Monday night fun and fact-filled, and lots to go on tonight. In fact, there's so much going on, I can't remember everything. So
No, that's just the gin, Ted.
Anything is the word you're looking for.
It's been a really busy day today, and as things go on, I don't want to give too much away, but as things go on, you'll find out why. But yeah, that's why. Now, I suppose the first thing that we should do is go over to Foxx for the terms and conditions. Go.
Hello. Yes, terms and conditions. Please send me all your money. Ends the terms and conditions. Yes, no, welcome. This is eModels Monday. It's your show. It's a chance for you guys to hang out and chat with your mates and have a good time. We just happen to be four blokes chatting away in the background. We will try and keep you entertained as best we can. Please remember this is a family-friendly show and it's for emodels.co.uk. So please be nice and polite in the chat. Don't do any rude words, and please don't mention other retailers in the chat. Those comments will be removed if they appear. So don't be a spoon. Now, yes, we are here to entertain you. There's a song in there somewhere. And we want to obviously interact with you and talk to you in the chat. So we'll be hoping you'll ask us lots of questions. If we've all got the chat in front of us, but we're all really old, some of us even older today, but we've all got the chat in front of us. So if you want to get our attention in chat, please put your comment in big fat capital letters or
bold.
There you go, big fat capital
letters. I was going to say moist, but
moist. No, it's
moist.
Big fat capital letters or moist, so we have a chance to see them on our iPads and tablets and things in front of us because they're all a long way away. If you want to, of course, you can. If you wish, hit the dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window to do a super chat. That puts your comment in the colour box, and then we can't possibly miss it. But you can just put their big fat capital letters. As always, please ask us anything. Treat every show as an AMA. Ask us anything you want. No religion, no politics, but we'll talk about pretty much anything else. So get those questions. It doesn't have to be about model making. Can talk about anything you want for the love of...
Despite this being a model making sponsored channel, it's not at all.
Yeah, just ask us anything about anything, and because we usually end up talking about food and nonsense, and so and that's kind of it. So make sure to be nice in chat. Don't be a spoon, and we'll have a good show.
Yeah, if you guys don't keep us talking, we just sit here looking at each other and sort of picking our nose and things like that. So
now, don't forget, of course, tonight we are pulling the winner of last week's giveaway. So you do want to make sure you don't disappear in the show halfway through, because you might be the winner. You might not find out.
It's the first tonight, isn't it? Because everyone's got their hats on and all.
Yeah. So is there there must be a video from last week that they have to go and comment on, so they can do that now.
Yes, that'll be last week's video.
Yeah, dash over and comment on last week's video.
Yes,
and be in with a chance of winning.
I'm sure everybody watched last week's video, even though Ted wasn't in it.
Yeah, it was the best thing about the 80s, wasn't it? Was the comment?
Yep. Last week's video was basically domestic violence, and that's it, really.
Yeah, good. Right. Now then, before we answer a question that's just appeared in the chat, we'll go across to no, it's not Chris. See, I'm forgetting. We'll go across.
You're out of practice, Ted.
We'll go across to Col for Fester's Factoids.
Fester's Factoids, and it's a short fact this week. It's got some births and some deaths, so we'll have a bit of that. On this very day in 1923, Edwin Hubble identified the first Cepheid variable star.
Is it Hubble with an H?
Hubble with an H, mate.
And do you know what we call the telescope that was named after him?
The Hubble.
That's good, girl. You're learning.
Hubble telescope, mate, eh? Cool.
You're getting all this science knowledge now, aren't you?
Is it Hubble with a U or Hubble with an H?
And we've got some births this week as well, folks. On this very day in 1832, Edward Hawksworth the First may have been born.
Yay.
Are we gonna sing happy birthday to
Yeah, go on. It's not
No.
copyright anymore.
I
One,
have to hold you there.
two,
Yeah,
happy birthday to
you.
Happy birthday
Happy birthday
to you.
to you. Happy
Happy
birthday
Edward.
to Edward.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. See?
I will send cake in the post.
On the-
You know,
on
just
this-
send cake in my mouth.
on this very day, on the 5th of October 1804, there was a bloke called Robert Parker Parrott born.
Bought a parrot.
He did what to a parrot? What?
Yeah, he was a US inventor who developed the rifle cannon, conveniently known as a parrot gun.
Ah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it didn't put bullets in it, put parrots in it.
Oh, mate, we've got a good one here. Oh, my God.
Before you do that, is it me or is Robert Parker Parrot like kind of name that you can hear like an old like 1940s school teacher shouting Robert Parker Parrot?
Oh, you could just imagine the old monocle
Get
giving a bit
out.
of a twitch as they're saying it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
5,000 lines.
We've got another one here. Oh, God. He's a French librarian and paleographer, whatever that is, and his name was Jack Joseph Champollion Fijac.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember him.
Isn't he a detective?
I think so. And we also had, he sounds important, this one. Baron Julian, oh God, Bennett, Dupuytren. And he this is welcome back, Ted.
Isn't that one of the things on the periodic table?
Isn't he like the Swedish chef?
He was a French surgeon pathologist noted as diagnostician, lecturer and surgeon. And he was famous for alleviating even Dupuytren's
Never has one man had so many vowels. in
Oh,
his
yeah,
name.
it's so good. It's so good to be back.
we got some deaths there, folks. So I've got to take the hat off. This one actually is a serious one that I'm going to start.
Death of the week.
Chris can't take his hat off because it's not actually a hat; it's part of his head.
Yeah, this one is quite a recent one. Steve Jobs, who put the A in Apple, sadly passed away at a very young age of 56 on October. Well, yeah, it's going to be October. It's the day of 2011.
Do you know what his Do you know what his last words were?
No,
Reportedly, his last words were, "Oh wow."
really?
Hmm.
Oh, bless you.
Who knows what he saw?
We've got another death here. Oh, God, I've done it again. This bloke was a French archaeologist and was the first excavator at Ras Shamra in Syria. That's it. And his name, oh God, his name was Claude Frederick Armand Schaffer. He dropped dead at the age of 84 in 1982. We got another one here, Johann Andreas von Segner, and he was a German physicist and mathematician.
I like the way you're on those extra F's at the start of physicist.
Oh, mate,
Jesus.
they recognised the surface tension of liquids.
Mm.
So, yeah, we can have a bit of that, and I'm going to recover now.
That was good. Yeah, I can add a little bit today because I know some things because today's a special day for some people, that some people also share my birthday today. And they are Donald Pleasance, Bob Geldof and Imran Khan, Kate Winslet. There's a link there. Kate
Oh God, I never thought of that. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I just realised, yeah.
And also Francois Athenisti Rockenhart Marquis de Montespan. It's her birthday as well.
The Marquis de Hammerman has
So notice how I diverted reading that one out that he sent me a message because I'm like,
Yeah, apparently she was mistress of Louis XIV. So yeah, but, yeah. So no. But that's who shares my day-to-day with me.
Beyond Hope also says today it is Neil deGrasse Tyson's birthday, so that's a very good birthday.
Yeah, but none of them, Ted, are as famous as you, mate.
Yes, they all know me.
None of them have reached TED level fameness.
Right, I think that's everything done, and now we can go back and have a look in the chat and see what's happening about. I did see that Jamie Bourne asked a question earlier about does anybody know how to weather Hornby locomotives and carriages? That's easy because I have the very thing here.
Ted just goes, yes, and then puts it down and carries on.
There you go. I wave it around like that. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, all you need to do is do it exactly the same as you do it anything else.
Yep.
Yeah. Just I'd give them a spray with a clear coat or something first, and then do all your weathering over the top as usual, and then just give it a dull coat over the top.
How do you do the weathering, Ted?
Splash it on. No, not splash.
He's been thinking of the Brute advert again.
Yeah,
you had one job, Ted. You had one job.
Sorry, I was just reliving my youth and splash it on.
I have actually got one handy tip for railroad modelling. Not that I do railroad modelling, but one little weathering tip that I've kind of learned, I taught myself, and it looks fantastic, is if you use Ammo by MIG engine grime, or it might have road grime as well, but engine grime, if you airbrush that on the undercarriage of a train, very lightly, it looks perfectly like, if you look underneath an actual train, it has that kind of dusty, where all the oil is, and then the dust gathers as well.
I'll see.
It looks exactly like that kind of dusty, grey, brown colour that you get under trains.
Stickage.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not dirt, it's not soil, it's just like it's an oily, dirty, and it just looks exactly like it's engine grime. It's just whatever you do, all your other colouring and painting, and then just airbrush that on the underside. And maybe a little tiny bit up the top, and it's just nice.
Please make sure that the train is not in service when you check underneath it.
eModels
will not be responsible for any injury or accidents.
Yeah,
but I found when you're making like vehicles, like cars and stuff, if you want to get that kind of grime that sits underneath most cars that you couldn't paint if you tried, just spray engine grime. Just paint the vehicle as normal.
The diesel sludge and dust and stuff.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know if you can see these. They work.
It's coming out really mint as well. I like that.
I just use that very technique. Just spray it from a distance, and it's sort of
like a mist,
low level, and it sort of kicks it up as well.
I mean that's effectively what engine grime is. The color it's meant to represent, like the sort of general aerosolized grime that comes out of, oddly enough, engines and vehicles, and then just accumulates on the sides of things. It's also a great color if you're ever doing like for example, there's an incredibly specific example, but imagine a white transit van with that road grime going up the back doors, and somebody's put "clean me" written in it, and by cleaning it with the finger, that exact color is engine grime. If you just spray it on and fade it to the top, it's perfect. So I've actually done it myself. I've put little bits of masking fluid around a door handle on the car, and sprayed engine grime, taken off the masking fluid, and you've now got road grime with the clean bits where somebody keeps grabbing the door handle. It's perfect. It's a perfect color. So everybody should have engine grime in their stash.
Did we just give out a really informative modelling tip on an email?
I know. I need it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not right. Michael Jackerman has just made the cardinal error that you never make on an eModels stream. He says, my order is with the Just Eat delivery driver. But that's it. He doesn't tell us what the order is. He needs you need to let us know more about the food.
Yeah, you can't just say my food is edible.
Don't forget belly and bench.
In fact, can we start a tradition now? Can we launch the finger of mocking and scathing?
Yeah, finger of mocking.
Which is most effective if you've got a 7-inch TV. There you go. So just make sure anybody who misbehaves or does that, we'll give them the finger of scathing.
Not that finger.
He gave me the wrong finger.
The finger of mocking.
What's that film or comedy sketch where some guy, like, he quits his job and he says, I stuck it to the man. I went to my boss and I told him exactly what I thought, but it didn't work out. Why? Because I gave him the wrong finger.
Right. Yes. So that hopefully has answered Michael Jackerman's question. And everybody else.
Dave Carball says you should call it the shaming finger of shame.
Yes. Finger of shame and shaming.
Yeah, I need to keep this the keeper the finger of.
Would you model event? All right, dudes. Hello to everybody, by the way. We hope you're all good in chat.
Right, where am I at? The chat's moved on a lot since I was last looking at it.
EC Idaho says he's got a Pizza Hut, Supreme Pizza, and he's working on Lego trains of late and Zaku Warrior still.
Ooh, Zaku Warrior, nice. That's like the one Paul got me that I haven't done yet because I can't find water slides for it. It's pink. Pink. I like it. It's pink. It says love on the front, which is great for an 18-meter tall death machine.
Yeah.
Michael Jackerman says, "Ooh, knock at the door."
I didn't hear him say it like that.
No, nor
In
did
my
I.
mind.
Full Larry Grayson mode there, Fox.
I know. Nana Sunrise, that's what I meant. Nana Sunrise in. She says, "Lap working on a crochet blanket. Belly will be roast beef, carrots, and potatoes." Can I just say, Mama Fox bought a blanket a couple of weeks ago that arrived a couple of days ago, and it's like a knitted blanket, knitted throw, but the wool is like that wide.
Oh wow!
So it's like big fat tubes. It's so soft. It's like, oh god, it's full of holes this big, but it's the warmest thing I've ever come across.
The blanket of softness.
I know, but the wool noodles are like that. They literally are like that wide. It's amazing.
Have you not seen that wool? But I know about this because Mrs. Ted watches lots of knitting patterns. Have you not seen that wool that's about as thick as rope? And
Yeah,
they actually knit using their arms.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what my Fox got.
Yeah.
Somebody made a joke and said I was going to make my own, so I got a couple of washing poles and just.
So that's how it's done. Yeah. See, we talk about everything on here, not just modelling, knitting.
Yes.
You will have to be careful though, because if we start talking about knitting, Mrs. Ted will start watching, and we just don't want that.
Also, I should point out, of course, that Nana Sunrise mentioned crochet, and we instantly started talking about knitting, which is like PlayStation and Xbox. It's just fighting time. So we might have started a crochet and knitting war now already as well.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah, welcome to the eModels crochet and knitting circle.
Knit one, pearl one. Oh, bugger. EC Idaho is making my Zaku Warrior Johnny Ridden. Cool. You guys won't know what that means. Modelmaking Mayhem says spaghetti and meatballs. Meatballs are herb and pepper and were roasted in the oven. And we say herb because it's got an H at the start. For the Americans watching. Herb.
And zucchini. What? Yeah, zucchini. What's wrong with the courgette?
Courgette.
I don't like any of them.
You don't like anything that's not
meat.
That's not. I don't know, meat.
Says the man with a Pikachu hat on.
I think Chris does need to permanently wear the Pikachu hat forever now. Not forever like in his real life, but on the show.
Yeah, we'll be able to spot Chris at the next Telford. He'll be wearing the Pikachu hat.
Oh, yeah. That'll be the thing he has to wear to Telford.
Oh yeah.
What
if he wears the Pikachu hat, but we also buy him like a steampunk top hat with the goggles as
proper,
well?
Yeah.
Steampunk Pikachu. You need some goggles on that. You
Yeah.
need some goggles on yours, Cole, because that'll be a steampunk hat with the goggles on it.
Oh yeah.
So
that can be arranged.
Yeah, it needs to be done. I need to get some proper pilot goggles, or like SAS Desert Jeep type.
Yeah, and a baseball bat to go with it as well.
Yeah, and then some proper gloves that I can turn back, and then I can look like a manga character. Fantastic. Then I just need a biplane and a talking pig.
Yeah, which might be a bit of a tight fit even in your bedroom.
Yeah, that's true. Beyond Hope says, bench Tamiya Churchill 7 tank, but I've lost the barrel. Finger. Belly Iceland minced beef and dumplings. Iceland minced beef and dumplings, 10 points. That's good. Frozen nonsense you can eat in the microwave always gets my vote because I'm an idiot and I'm lazy.
I just wonder how you lose a barrel. How do you lose a barrel? Even in this mess.
Yeah, but the carpet monster can claim anything, mate.
Yeah, but I mean, you can lose I could understand losing a towing hook, but a barrel.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a metal barrel, even worse. There's a Tamiya there, isn't
That's
it?
double mockage then.
So if you've lost the barrel completely, you could replace it with brass tubing, or you could just make it a Hulk, like a damaged, abandoned tank Hulk.
Or make it like a sawn-off tank.
Oh yeah,
a sawn-off tank.
just paint Diamond Geezer on the back.
Yeah, with swag written down the side.
Right, lads.
Well,
Anders says, Belly, back on my diet, so it's shrimp and chicken salad for lunch.
Oh, I like
Fruit and coffee tonight. Bench started priming all the bits and pieces for the Panther Fort. Did you not already do the Panzer Fort? Do what?
I thought we'd done the Panther Fort.
I think he must be on another one by now.
Are you not doing? Oh,
He's on the fettling and finagling stage, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought mind you, he'd done. I think he'd done the interior. I don't think he'd done the. Maybe he'd just done the interior because you remember
I've done the
Ted.
building, but not the painting.
Yeah, because you did all the interior stuff, didn't you, first, Ted?
Yeah, that's it. You build all the interior, you paint it all, and you really do a good job of it. Then you weather it all, and then chip it all, and then you do all the other washes and everything else. Then you put the top on it, and nobody sees it.
I'm sensing some deep-seated anger there, some issues.
Yeah.
Is this the sort of wibble that we're getting used to when we remind you that you're not Mama Fox's favourite?
Yeah, that's the same wibble. It's the same wibble as you get when you build the U-boat as well. You build it, you paint it, you put it in, then you realise nobody's going to see it.
No, nobody will. The thing is, Ted, you have to remember that nobody will ever see that little Easter egg of the German Kriegsmarine with an iPhone.
No,
In the same way that no one will ever see the Easter egg decal that I put on my Millennium Falcon that I didn't tell anyone about. You guys know what it is.
Yeah, and the little Easter egg decal of Pete, mate, in the officers' quarters.
I may or may not have applied some Hello Kitty to my Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, some of us may have seen it.
Yeah, some of us may have seen it, but nobody will ever see it now when it goes in store. Where are we up to? Raging Modeler says, happy birthday, Ted.
Yes, thank everybody for the greetings and delectations.
Michael Jackerman's come back with his ingredients. One special chicken kebab, a portion of chips. Bench is still painting the hull of his golden hind.
Yay. Paul Di Tommaso's in. Hey, Paul, hope you're feeling better, mate. Hope you're feeling good after your surgery. He says, Belly, homemade chicken soup, bench unsure. Why is your bench unsure?
Oh well, if Paul's been poorly, it has to be chicken soup.
Yeah, he's recovering
No other
surgery,
soup.
Paul.
Yeah, no other soup is available.
Yeah. I shall let Ted pronounce kitchen table modeller's dinner.
Welcome back, Ted.
How far down are we?
Kitchen table modeler, just under Paul Di Tommaso.
Hang on a minute, I can't even find that now.
A few down from Anders.
All right, yeah, kitchen table modeler, Billy chicken fajitas.
Oh, he got it right and everything.
Brilliant.
All right, yeah. All right, hang on. Chicken fajitas.
Careful, family friendly.
Yeah, chicken fajitas.
My friend used to say fajitas, and I just used to mock him mercilessly.
Matt Bradford's got a roast beef dinner, and on the bench is an Eagle transporter from Space 1999.
Yes, the best spaceship ever designed, science fiction ship ever designed, is the Eagle transporter.
And we're not going to remind you that you can't get to yours because it's in a glass cabinet that you can't have.
Wibble.
Yeah, make Pete a cheap offer. He likes it.
Yeah, be brave, Fox. We've got your back, mate.
Yeah, when you take the Falcon, say that's got to go just there. I'll take this one out of your way.
Yeah,
I know what I could do there. You know what I could do? I could be clever. When I take the Falcon to eModels in about 12 years when the world's not on fire, I could take my old 7-year-old fine molds Falcon that's been painted with half a potato and a dead cat. And I could take that instead. People won't know.
Yeah, he'll never spot that.
Although half the bits on are upside down.
Okay, being that you're tight for space, how about I look after the Eagle and we just rotate the display every
We rotate them once and then forget. Yeah. Graham M says, Belly, lovely roast pork dinner. Bench waiting for a large delivery of paint, etc. that I ordered last night.
Oh.
And Spiddy Curate said something and then retracted it. So he probably said, I like tea or something.
Yeah. Mark says best wishes. Thank you. Billy Pauline says is ribs, hash browns, and sweet corn. Bench Airfix vintage HMS Ark Royal. And he shaved off more than the kit that he's ever shaved in his life. I think he must mean flash removing.
Yeah, I think we've all made that old. If he means the 1960s, 70s one, because there's the World War II art rail, then there was the one that came after, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was the Invincible class.
Yeah. Fun fact: my dad went up and down on the elevator on one of the elevators on the art rail because he was filming a New Year's He was a cameraman, and he was filming like a New Year's pop concert for ITV, which was like it had some 1980s singers that I can't remember one who had a crush on. I can't remember her name now. Anyway, he was going up and down with some singer doing a
Was
piece.
that the old Ark Royal or the new Ark Royal?
That was the one that was killed off in the early 90s. I think it was like the year before. I don't know. It was in the late 80s that they filmed it, and it was that 60s, 70s era one.
The one that went to the Falklands, that Ark Royal.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, the old shape, not the Hermes class.
No, not the modern one.
Not the Invincible class. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But he went up and down on the list. He'd been on that ship.
Yeah, that was the one that Rod Stewart sang "Sailing On," wasn't it?
That was the basis of that, wasn't it? Because it was a documentary at the time, wasn't it?
It was, yes, it was a documentary.
Mama Foxx has just shouted a clarification from the producer, which is Alison Moyet. She was doing a piece to camera, and my dad had a crush on Alison Moyet.
Oh right, yes. I sort of had a bit of a thing for Alison.
She was a larger lass, and that's always good in my
yeah. Curves. I think they say curves better than angles.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Don't give me no stick insect nonsense.
Yeah.
So he's been on the Royal with Alison Moyet. There you go, claim to fame.
Anyway, moving on. Before this goes the wrong way totally.
Family friendly.
Yes. Mammoth Mirth says cat cushion nat. All right. Yes, she must be on about what she's lack hutching.
EC Idaho asks, when is the eModels quilting bee?
Yeah. Spinny Kuwait says crochet. Wasn't that the fella in Miami Vice?
No, wasn't it one of the side characters in a James Bond movie? It was like Odd Job and Crochet.
Modelmaking trucker is perhaps he's in his truck somewhere, but he's having sweet and sour chicken balls and egg fried rice, ready meal bench 150 miles away.
Sweet and sour chicken ball.
Yeah, sweet and sour chicken. So that must be a takeaway, and his bench and his 150 miles in the UK somewhere.
It sounded so wrong.
I only do that because these guys have got earpieces in. We're all wearing earpieces, not headphones. I don't do it for the viewers. I do it for these guys who've got we've all got things right now.
Sorry, I wasn't paying any attention to you at all. Did you say something?
Yeah, I don't think Chris can hear us because of the Pikachu hat.
Pardon?
What?
Dan Kramer's in. He says, "Okay, I'm here. You can start now."
Yeah.
Chris is very quiet tonight, says Spruglu Addict.
So,
I'm very quiet. Do you mean I'm not talking very much, or when I do talk, it's quiet? Because it could be two different things.
I think it means you're a bit sanguine and withdrawn.
He's tired. He did say before we went live that he might nod off.
The difficulty is, of course, he's got the button, so it's not like we can lock the camera on him and he's knackered because
he can't get a word in anyway.
No. He likes being the host because he can just doze off and have a bit of a snooze.
Yeah, next week, Chris will present, and then Chris will host, and then we could just sit back.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if I do get too tired, I could always just pull the hat down more.
Oh, that's even better.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, that's just the best thing in the world.
Oh dear. We are going to make him cut the eyes out there. So
but Chris, can you make your voice go high enough?
Not without slippage.
Not without accidents.
Jamie Shiner's saying hi all. He's got a Kentucky Fried in his stomach and on the bench is a Revell 72nd Black Pearl with lighting and brass cannons.
Mark Scope says belly spicy bean burger, bench a 1-to-1 TV flat pack unit. So super realistic.
Oh, yes.
Modelmaking Mayhem says Colin, proper steampunk lad you is.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get a set of the old goggles now, mate, and have them on the app. Got to be done.
Now I quite like steampunk. I'm quite into the
I love it. I think it's a really sort of
Well, I was looking into getting a pair of actual proper flying goggles. You know, the ones with the angled corners to wear at the top here, so I can look kind of Japanese anime like. But they're like 150 quid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I just need a pair of desert goggles in that case, so I can look like a Tamiya Jeep driver. So
just look up acetylene welding goggles. Get a pair for about $5 on eBay.
Yeah, that's true. Where are we up to? Somebody said Combat Wombat, but then the chat moved. I don't know what we're talking about. AJ says, happy birthday, Ted. Are we likely to see Titanic episode 2 anytime soon? No, they're never going to make another Titanic.
No, that's it. Yeah, it's sank.
It's sank. They can't do it.
Yeah, we'll get there. I might actually do it the way that Foxx did the Millennium Falcon. I might do it sort of like
Leave it for 2 years and then rush it at the end.
I might start doing live builds and then just get on with it. Yeah, right.
Well, that's easy to do when it's a push fit kit like the Falcon, because that's just there you go. But you've got to do like photo etch and thinking and gluing. It's not that easy to do that on a live stream.
Just think of the TEDisms when you're doing the photo etch. Probably not an idea to be live.
Yeah. Tonight we're doing the Titanic live with photo etch. Beep, 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 beep.
Rating 18.
Yeah, we'll glue this bit onto this bit. Beep. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it?
Reggie Modeler says belly nothing, bench a red dragon and 2 dragonborn paladins. Dude, eat some food. Tim Young, I nearly said Tim Young belly.
Tim,
hang on. Tim Young says belly gargantuan tuna pasta bake with 20 portions of cheese on top. You fat bloater. On the bench, took a break from Little Planes and I made a tropical. Oh God, I've had to read this one, didn't I? Nagorno-Karabakh Army T-72 tank in 1/87 scale. Interesting.
Yeah, I just imagined that in the voice of Brian Blessed.
What the gargantuan tuna pasta? We're going to climb the volcano and then we're going to eat it. So yes, do explain this gargantuan. My microphone's just dropped volume about 80 decibels. Do explain this gargantuan. I assume you're not eating it all yourself. Do clarify this. It sounds divine.
Retro Rabbit saying to the fella that lost his tank barrel, just curl the barrel up like a Looney Tunes explosion.
Oh, yeah. Or why not get a Meng Toon tank and swap the turrets over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a point. It was discussed last night. We need to be thinking soon. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, you've gone.
Dear.
Hello.
Oh, we're back. Yeah, we need to be thinking soon about the eModels Christmas build.
Oh,
It's not that far away, you know.
Absolutely. EC Hideaho's come up with good one. He said, can you replace the barrel with a cheap paintbrush handle? Because it's got a taper, hasn't it?
Then just
that was a really good handbrake turn from what Ted just said. Then I like that.
yeah.
That was one. You like the way I
I
did
think that was I don't
We
want
need
to
to
talk
think
about
about this.
Christmas, so
Anyway,
I'm going to
moving on.
mention something else.
Yeah, that's
Chris, there's a hat missing on your face.
what you
Yeah,
need.
I got very warm, so I took my hat off. I do notice that someone said, Sprugloo says, I think Chris is quiet, so the cam doesn't go on him and Pikachu. I've got control over the cam. It doesn't come on me unless I click the button and make it come on me. So, you know. The other guys, if they talk, it goes on them. But if I don't click on me, I just talk and it's locked on Foxx. So there you
Yes,
go.
this is the downside of hosting. By the way, Anders confirms yes, the interior was what has been spent the last 3 years working on. So it'll be another 6 years for the exterior then.
Yay!
Yeah. I can't read that name out, but he or she is having Belly Madras bench. It has a Zvezda 135th Uralic. Family friendly channel. I can't read your name out.
All right, I see why you couldn't read that.
Yes.
Yeah. Dan Kremer says I want someone to build the X-wing in full repair bay diorama, so there's a reason to have all the hidden details.
I think I assume he's referring to the D'Agostini Falcon that made Falcon? No, X-wing. I assume he's referring to the D'Agostini X-wing that me and Chris are doing, which has all these interior engine details that you seal away inside and you don't see.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just so they can give you like 100 issues of the magazine, but
yeah. Now I read the next one from A. McNoll. Billy, tonight was Cornish pasty minus the pastry, carrots, and mushy peas. Then I read it again, and it's Cornish pasty minus the pastry. Otherwise, it'd be nothing. Yeah.
It's a plate
with a peppercorn sauce. All right.
Phil Lewis says belly a strange bolognese type concoction with lots of mushrooms, apparently no meat with rice. Bench tears of disappointment.
Thompson saying, Fox, you could always ask for visitation rights for your eagle.
Well, I could just drive down and pour the glass.
Custody claim, mate.
The thing is, I think last time I went down, I got there and the cockpit bit was hanging off because they'd obviously been knocked and none of them had the nerve to go and actually put it back on again. It's like, okay, I'll fix it. There you go.
We keep getting phone calls. Ted, can you come and move your submarine? We just need to get things out the shelf.
I can't wait till they got a big Millennium Falcon in there that's push fitting all the
It's going
bits.
to be hilarious, isn't it?
Yeah. Modelmaking Mayhem says, I keep having to slap my manager at work. He pronounced jalapenos as jalapenis.
Jalapenos.
That sounds like
I've got no idea where you all are.
That sounds like a rocket launcher in Destiny.
Yeah. Right, yeah, I'm just skimming through it. Otherwise, we'll be stuck in the chat forever. That's going back to Alison Moyer, says Alf's a great singer. And then somebody further down says that Alison Moyer's video, your dad's video, is actually on YouTube.
It could be. It was a New Year's Day music program. I'm sure if you just do a search for Alison Moyer Arc Royal, it'll be on there.
Yeah, so he must have found it. Ned Boss, good evening, Ned Boss. One of your mods tonight. Good evening.
Mate.
George Taylor says, Belly, homemade pancetta and mushroom tortellini with an Alfredo. I've got to read this out properly. Hang on. Hey, homemade pancetta and a mushroom tortellini and Alfredo sauce with the spinach and the homemade garlic bread. Bench, it doesn't matter after that. Pretty much.
It sounds like one of them adverts for Dolmio pasta sauce.
There used to be an Italian restaurant we used to go to near me, and you used to go and the guy was actually called Mario. It's kind of corny, but he's actually called Mario, and the other guy was actually called Luigi. And he said, "Luigi, what's the special?" He says, "What's the soup of the day?" And he'd be like, "Minestrone is always minestrone." It was always minestrone. The only soup they did.
Dan Kramer says he used to work in a burger place in Texas, and someone come through the drive-through and asked for a jalapeno burger with cheese. That might have been me then, mate.
Dan Kramer says, "Yeah, you guys are always complaining about not seeing the parts yet on those X-wings. If you're not familiar with them, you haven't got a wing there, have you, Chris, that you can wave around?
No.
You build the entire engine assembly inside the wing, and then you put the cowling over it, and you never see it again." So.
Yeah. Or Dave Carpon says, Christmas already? He hasn't put the sprouts on yet. Yeah, be soon. End of the month, he can put the sprouts on.
Yeah, I suppose we better start thinking about that though, on a serious note, because it's not that long away, is it?
I'm sure somebody said that like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, at some point we should start thinking about the Christmas
Oh,
bill.
is it not far to Christmas? I just wonder how many days it is to Christmas.
No idea, mate.
Oh,
the thing is, I'm going to run out of main tanks to build, and I really don't want to go play
Yeah,
with a boat.
we'll probably end up doing the chibi build again, won't we?
I don't know, maybe I'll paint a Warhammer or something. I'll paint a Lehman Russ in like 4 hours.
yeah, let's build a Baneblade live.
Well, you say you do it in 4 hours.
Yeah, but normally you start about 8 weeks before we do. Not that
Well,
you
I would have to pre-build and prime that because that's proper model kit.
Yeah, because this is Fox's goalpost rules for the Christmas build, isn't it, Chris?
Hey, I'd still be putting things together if I hadn't pre-built planned it. At least,
Well, maybe we should do it as a time thing, in that the first hour you're allowed to build, the second hour you're allowed to paint, and the third hour you're allowed to weather.
I don't complain that you guys just cut loads of corners by doing airbrushing nonsense, whereas I was doing proper brushing. I know,
If only you had an airbrush, eh?
I'm not going to airbrush on telly. It's nonsense.
What you do, just mute your mic.
Yeah. So what you guys painted in 5 minutes, I'm carefully brushing on with love and
Are we going to give you the finger of shame?
Finger of shame.
Nobody knows.
Oh dear, oh Lord. I nearly popped a rib.
Model making trucker actually says Fox needs time to build his model before the show, aka cheating.
Absolutely agree there, Lewis.
Yep.
Yeah, we should do time sections. So if we do 4 hours, as Chris said, first hour for building, second hour for painting, whether you finish the building or not. Yeah. So yeah, and then the third and fourth hour for weathering.
He's still weathering last year's, mate.
Yeah. ECI House. Zadster. Oh, the comments have moved. I'm reading all the wrong names. Phil Lewis, in fact, says, I would like to blame Fox entirely for causing me to spend £300. I assume you bought a Millennium Falcon. Good girl. It was the right choice. Fox, do a shiny car for your Christmas build. No.
Shame.
Marco Frazzoni does some good model painting videos. He has a superb Italian accent. Awesome. I have a superb Italian accent, as you just found out, obviously.
Emma Jane Young says to Ted, Foxx, Colin, and Chris, Pikachu. Pikachu. I left the house at 6 a.m. and got back at 8:30 p.m. with bruises on my face from a surgical respirator mask. But I spent the whole day looking forward to this podcast.
Oh,
yeah, that's good. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Because she knew I was coming back.
Yep.
There
you go.
Yeah.
See, no matter how bad your day can be, we can make it worse.
Absolutely.
We can always come back to put the edge back on it, you know.
Sprue and Glue saying eModels Xmas build with Foxx cheating is a must.
It's like tradition now, isn't it?
Because don't forget, half the conversation is you guys kvetching because I've not cheated.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the same if he wasn't cheating at Christmas.
Because you have to remember, I do everything 5 times slower than everybody else, so I have to allow
It's
for that.
when he sits there and goes, have we all got our kits? And we go, yeah. And he goes, have we thought about ground rules? And it's like, yeah, we all know what's coming.
Yeah. Right, I've got my kit. Here it is. Here's the box. Yeah, Foxx. Yeah, here's my kit. I built it. Yeah.
Yep.
And primed it, and I've done a little bit of the first coat of painting.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with spending 4 hours with the decals.
Yeah, I'm now going to start the weathering. Yeah, we're just opening our kit, Foxx, but you can almost still be finished before you.
Graham M says, Foxx, could you possibly do a brush painting tutorial? I've never painted a brush. Yes, I have one on my channel, but most of mine is a brush painting. But I can produce. The plan going forward. Here's just a little bit of an inside baseball thing. As you know, eModels now stock Games Workshop, and over the coming months, there will of course be increasing the stock for all the paints and all the kits and everything else. It's just a slow build-up process, and eventually, I will start doing a lot more painting tutorials for the Games Workshop stuff. Just about how to paint an Imperial Knight, how to paint a Lehman Russ, how to paint Space Marines, that kind of thing. So that will be coming, and that will be a lot of focusing on brush painting as well. So keep it, because I want to be able to show how to use the paints with the models and things like that. So that's hopefully going to be happening in the new year as stock increases. It's just been a slow process because the entire world's been on fire because of Chocolate Velociraptor 19. I'd hoped that they'd have the full range by now, but of course everything's been just destroyed this year. It's been a year to forget. So in the coming months, as the amount of stock they carry for Games Workshop increases, I will be doing some videos for that.
No.
So you can expect lots of brush painting, brushy.
Jason Martin's got a good question. He says, are you guys loyal to one airbrush brand? I can answer that. No.
No. I'm loyal. I've got my my TRN1 Iwata, and I love it to bits. And I use this one kind of exclusively because it works, and it's one of the few trigger brushes. But I wouldn't say no to trying other brushes or be loyal to that. It's just that's the one that works for me right now.
Yeah, I've got my Chinese brushes that I use for my pledges and things like that. I've got Mr. Robbie. I've got a UMP Apex. I've got an H&S.
Yeah. I mean, I'm restricted to it has to be a trigger brush. So my choice is ridiculously limited. So that's why I cosset this one, because when I bought it, it was £75. Now they're like £180. I don't want to break this airbrush ever. So, but I'll extol its virtues, but I'm not afraid. I'd love a nice H&S brush if they did a trigger.
Yeah, I've got a nice H&S brush, but I would like another one, but I couldn't justify buying another one because I can't see the point in having two airbrushes. Well, I've got a Chinese airbrush, like Colin has for pledge, but I couldn't justify buying another brush at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, what's where we are?
Works for you as well, wouldn't it, with airbrushes?
Paul Lyons says, I think you should all agree on building something. And then Colin Christen said, change to something else without telling Foxx.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
We could tell Foxx and he'll forget about it, so it'll all be okay.
Forget about what? Sprue and Glue says 1 week on a no eModels order. I don't know what that means.
I think he's put in an order and hasn't got it yet.
But yeah, there's a little bit of delay though, so just give them a couple of more days, they'll be fine.
Yeah, just to clarify, because some of you might not know, we don't actually work for eModels at all. We just make videos for them and do this stream. So if you have any issues with orders or products, anything like that, you need to contact them. We can't help you with that, sadly. But yeah, just drop them an email. They'll be more than happy. I know James has been
off, hasn't he?
Yeah, James has been off for the last few days, so it might have gone a bit slower. So, but just drop them an email. They'll let you know. They'll be happy to let you know what's going on.
Dan Kramer's blaming me because he's got one of those ball tanks, the one with the wheels, and he's going to convert it to a Fallout inspired look. Yeah, I've got the one with the wheels in my stash there, and I'm just filming the Dio for the one for eModels.
I like the sound of the Fallout inspired look. Yeah, I've always said if you play video games and you've got Fallout 4, look at the loading screens as good reference for how to weather, because there's real great material there to look at and be inspired to do weathering, because the weathering in that game is fantastic.
I've still got DS9 to start yet, man.
You need to watch all of DS9.
That was weeks ago.
You need to watch all of DS9. I want to be able to talk about par wraiths and all the things, and just need Cisco is just.
You've not forgiven me, have you?
No, you need to watch it.
Dude, I only did one season of SG1 as well.
No, you've
that's
10%.
I think Colin and Ted need to get together and binge watch all of the things that we've watched.
Yeah, SG1. Well, just basically SG1 and DS9.
Yeah, I find it hard enough sitting down in front of the TV with Netflix loaded up, trying to find something to watch. Nope, looks dull.
Yeah,
boring. Don't want that. It's too soppy. That's girly. Disney? No, don't want that. I can't find anything.
That's because you're not looking for DS9 or SG1. That's why.
Yeah, perhaps I'm looking for the wrong subject.
Yes. Yeah. Quino Man says, I have the same airbrush as Foxx, and the fact that it reminded me of a phaser in no way affected my choice of airbrush. It is difficult to resist going pew pew when you first get it.
Oh,
yeah.
Sprue and Glue says SG1 was rubbish and is now banned for all time.
Is that SG1 Stargate?
Model making, yes.
Yes, Ted, well done.
You did a science fiction, Ted. You just did a science fiction by yourself.
I guess it was an educated guess.
Did you just Google it, Ted?
Yeah. Model making trucker says, what's SG1 and DS9 banned?
No, Lewis, I know, mate. I know where you're coming from. It's just like,
yeah, but not for long, because you'll be watching SG1 and DS9 very soon.
Yeah, I mean, the only Star Trek I've watched is TNG, so
that's acceptable, but DS9 is better.
I'm really gonna upset you now then.
Go on.
I have only watched about 10 minutes of one episode of Doctor Who.
Wait, modern or new Who or classic Who?
Any.
Oh no, I can say that.
Chris, just turn his camera off.
Yeah.
Turn his camera off.
Hang about. I can put the big X in front of Colin if that helps.
I used to watch Doctor Who myself, but it was the John Pertwee episodes because he had
Karate Time.
Yeah, he had the major in them. Yeah,
John Pertwee, karate and freely sleeved. Oh, yeah. I don't know. No way is DS9 better than TNG, says Sprue and Glue, who's still banned.
Bill Lewis says, I only get irritable when I start running out of Ketracel White.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm getting told off in chat now.
Yeah, the founders we thank the founders for this gift. Dan Kramer says, I have a trio of Fallout dioramas planned: the Ball Tank, Dodge, Diora, and Scammell Pioneer. Cool.
Oh, I've got a Scammell Pioneer in my stash.
Dan Kramer, you may want to have a look at the Fallout Wasteland Warfare stuff by Modifius. It's resin tabletop gaming pieces. It's not 1/35th scale. It's more like 28mm scale. But they do things like Red Rocket, and they've got some of the vehicles and Nuka-Cola machines. You might find them useful. I think you have to go to the Modifius website to buy it. It's not an eModels thing, unfortunately.
Where are we at now? Phil Lewis says, I only get irritable when I start running out of Ketracel White.
We've done that one.
Yeah, it sounded better when I read it out.
Have you done that one?
We've done that one. There's a few people saying that DS9 is terrible. Everybody who's saying DS9 is rubbish is just heretical. They're all just heretics. DS9 is fantastic. Garak, Gul Dukat, Bashir. Oh, just
Yeah,
O'Brien.
Phil East is on my friends list. He's never watched Doctor Who or Star Trek himself either. Good man.
What do you people do of an evening when there's nothing else to do apart from watch DS9 and SG1?
Models.
Oh, I don't know.
I stand corrected by Russell Williamson. It's not the Colonel, it was the Brigadier in Doctor Who. Yes, the Brigadier. Yeah. I'm surprised how a Brigadier used to command just a troop.
Dave Cardboard says, speaking of ships, is twisting up bits of copper wire to look like rope a good thing or a bad thing? If it's a 1/700th scale ship, probably not a good thing.
It depends on the thickness of your wire and the scale, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Would picture hanging wire do it, Ted?
Depends what scale you're doing, and depends what you want to do with it. Often you can find that rather than twist it up, if you strip off copper cable, you'll find it's already twisted if you find the right flex. Usually flexy stuff, the bit that you have on your kettle and things like that, you'll find that that's sometimes already stranded. Another good one is telephone cable. That sometimes comes stranded as well. So
it does depend what you're looking for, though. When I was doing the 172nd U-boat, I was looking at doing the steel antenna cabling that goes up at the top. And in real life, that's like twisted steel cable. It's got to apply to it. And the two solutions I found were basically Easy Line, which is the rubber stretchy rigging thread, which is made of rubber, or Ammo by MIG do a rigging cable, which is the same stuff. That's not twisted, but it looks like steel cable. There's no twisty bit, but it looks fine. Yeah. Or there is actually one specific manufacturer of stowing thread that looks exactly like 1/35th scale steel cable, but it's like £35 for a bobbin that big. And I was like, no. And I didn't want to use a thread on a model because it just goes frayed and horrible. So I went for Easy Line in the end. I decided it wasn't worth worrying about having the texture of the steel cable because it was fine.
You could just paint that on later, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, I actually just delicately dry brushed it to get some little steel, like shiny metal.
And sometimes, well, if you're getting up to if you're working in 1/35th scale or something like that or bigger, you'll often find that using a string to represent rope will do as good a job as copper cable. So the bigger you go, the smaller you go, the less chance you'll actually see the twist in the cable. But the bigger you go, you can just use string and work.
But you've got to be wary of threads and strings. I used to use, when I was a kid, I used to use like normal sewing thread. But you realise that when you make a model with sewing thread, after a week, it looks like that. It looks like fluffy and bitty, and it's horrible.
It depends what you're going to do it. If you're going to thread it and use it like antenna cables and things like that, it will go spidery. But if you're going to use it in coils or loops or wind it around the bumper,
because then you can glue over it and lock it in place and stuff. Yeah, if you're using it for like tow cables that are on the side of a tank or something like that. But it's like Ted says, it's about appreciating the sense of scale. There's a certain point at which you don't need to reproduce every single little detail on something to make it look convincing. Because if you take a 1/35th scale kit and you do every single detail super realistically, you drive yourself insane. But it would look kind of odd because your brain expects a certain bit of compromise with the size of the thing. It's kind of weird, you wouldn't, if you had a model 1/35th scale model tree and every leaf had all the little veins on it, it'd be too detailed.
What's the word for it? What's the French for it? Is it trompe l'oeil or something like that? Trick of the eye, something like that. Sometimes you can put detail on a model and you don't need it to look perfect. You just need to trick the eye that it's there. Just need to
trompe l'oeil. Yeah, it's like I was saying this in my stream the other day. It's like being an impressionist painter rather than a hyper-realistic painter. You look at an object that's like this big in real life and it might have lots of detail. When you shrink it down to that big, you can't reproduce all of that because if you do, it just doesn't look right to the eye sometimes.
Yeah, well, you've got to think about if the real object was 100 foot long and you're doing it at 1 foot, it's also got to be 100 foot away. So you can't see the small details because they're too far away.
Yeah, that's the key consideration. It's like, you can paint all the bits, but if you take the thing that's that big, like you say, and you walk away from it until it is the size of your miniature version, would you see half that detail? No.
A prime example is painting eyeballs on a 1/35th figure. You think if you have that 1/35th figure and you hold it at arm's length, are you going to see a person's colour of his eyes from that far away?
I actually don't paint eyes at all on 35th scale and Warhammer stuff. I use shades to suggest the shadowing because I can't paint eyes for a start, but invariably they look terrible. So I just use dark shades to suggest the shadow of the. Because if I'm looking at someone and they're far enough away that they look this big, I can't see their pupils and their eyes. They just have a dark shadow where their eyes are. Ian Thompson says, Wayoon, that drink was truly toxic. Some DS9 love in the chat.
B3's just calling out. He's going off for the night. He's got a headache and he's getting worse. So see you later.
See you later.
Yeah, thank you again.
Get well soon.
I've got a bit of a headache, actually, to be honest. Osric 9000, or as Ted would call him.
Ostrich.
Yes, I'd hope you know, Ted, that while you've been away, we've been calling him Ostrich 9000 or 90,000.
Yeah, I'm pleased at that because I didn't want him to feel unloved because of
so we've been calling him Ostrich 90,000 just because in your place. He says we also need to watch Farscape. Already watched it. Already love it.
What's
Farscape is another little sci-fi series. It's actually Australian or New Zealand. It's New Zealandish, but it's hilarious and it's just great. You have to watch Farscape. It's off the wall. Yeah, this Jim Henson got involved in it, and it's just kind of loopy and crazy and a bit. It's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. Farscape. Go and watch it. Mm-hmm. Frel.
Yeah.
Yachts. Right. You'll learn words like frel and yachts. Pilot is just the best puppet I've ever seen.
Oh, what else is going on? Phil said he's disappointed that nobody else does mainstream UFO kits other than the odd scale toy like the Japanese ones. Do you mean UFO as in the series UFO?
Or do you mean like UFO as in like Billy Mayer's flying saucer like thing? Or
yeah, I think if you mean the UFO, there is a garage company, for want of a better word, that does some UFO kits, but they're big and they're expensive. I have seen them out there.
Yeah, I've seen the Angel Interceptor. That's not UFO, is it? The Angel Interceptor. It is, isn't it? It's like the big pointy jet fighter.
Yeah, I get mixed up with Captain Scarlet. He's the Angel Interceptor's Captain Scarlet.
Oh yeah, because it's Spectrum, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the company. There's an Angel Interceptor kit you can get that's like studio scale. It's like this big. I think it's the same company that does like the shadow vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I want a model of Straker's car though.
Yeah.
That's a shiny car I would make. Straker's car.
Yeah, with the gull wing doors.
Yeah. That's now rotting in a back garden somewhere. That actually.
Yeah, apparently there's a few in there that they pop up on Facebook every now and again that the people have found them just rotting away in somebody's parking lot.
Well, I spent a pleasant Sunday once. I stumbled upon the story about the car they used for the series, the actual physical car they filmed, full-size car, and how it went through various sets of hands and eventually got to this guy who then just left it in his back garden. And there's this whole, I read this, spent ages reading this forum where these people were kind of like doing this detective work to find out what happened to it. And in the end, they found out where it was. And this guy went to the guy that owned it and said, listen, I will give you a whole mess of money if you'll sell me that, and I'll take it off and I'll restore it because it's just rotting. And the guy was like, nah. So it's currently just rotting in a guy's back garden somewhere. He refused to sell it. Shame.
Yeah. It was quite a good series. That I did enjoy it.
Anders says, very good point about the eyes, Fox. Yeah, if you can paint eyes, then paint eyes. If you struggle painting eyes, don't bother. Just if it's 1/35th scale or smaller, as in smaller model, bigger scale, just use your, if you like, for example, Warhammer, I just use some Adcrax Earthshade or some Reichland Flesh Shade. I do all my flesh colours, and then I just wash the shade into the eye socket. Done. The distance you're going to be looking at it just looks like a shadow where the eye will be. Or if your character has a helmet, put the helmet on it. I always put helmets on them.
Would that mean that you're like cheating?
No, I prefer them with the helmet. They look more awesome with helmets on.
Fox doesn't cheat, Chris, does he?
Paul Lyons says, my 1/35th figures have eyes painted on them, but they look like I've just seen something frightening. That's the problem. More often than not, people end up with big round white eyes with a big black dot in the middle. And that's the point where you're like, don't paint eyes.
You can just stick googly eyes onto them.
Googly eyes,
if you really struggle, you can actually buy decals for eyes.
I have some. They're Japanese. I'm actually repainting a model right now that when it came to me, the guy on the model had basically a tiny eye this big and a massive eye on that side. And like this one had a pupil that big and this one had like the tiny dot. And I'm like, yeah, that's getting stripped.
Maybe one was just closer to you than the other.
Well, he's a cameraman.
We had all the cameramen at work this week. We had Antiques Roadshow being filmed at the City.
Is that because you're very old now, Ted?
Yeah, that's because I'm up there. The newer was getting old, so they wanted me on as an antique. And yes, look out for me on Antiques Roadshow because they got me as an extra. You know, them people when this little item that we have here is £250. It's worth £250, and the people in the back are all going, "Oh!"
Did you have to stand there going?
Yeah, that's me. Yes,
Ted just leant towards the microphone and went bold.
Well, they didn't appraise you then.
No,
Not worth much, but it's aged well.
Yeah,
gin aged.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Can you just stand there and can you do some nodding for me?
Nodding.
Yeah. Yeah, they filmed me doing some nodding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going back to sci. Oh, sorry, go on, Ted.
Yeah. Then I had to give the. When they say, and it's worth £2,500, and you have to go.
Oh,
slap it in your basket.
We could just say something completely inappropriate.
Check it out though.
Yeah, you should just use the opportunity to get a slap it on him, man.
Yes.
Yeah. I was in the background having a drink out of my Skipper Ted mug.
Oh, it's a skipper mug. It's a skipper mug.
You didn't manage to get an eModel sticker on any of the things that were being appraised.
Yeah, there'd be random pictures of eModel stickers.
Did you not like get a sticker on the back of one of the appraisers? Oh, thanks for that slap.
But I did see where all your BBC money was being spent. Lots of people stood around doing nothing.
Ian Thompson says something, it just moved. If Bandai did a model of Skydiver, I think that's the one from UFO, I'd happily crawl over all your bodies to get one.
Yeah, there is a model of Skydiver out there. They usually sell. The guy usually sells it. This chap that works from his garage usually is at Telford selling them.
Is that the big fat grey thing?
It's a big fat submarine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How can it be called Skydiver if it's a submarine? What?
Because the front half of it shoots off and flies, and then the submarine.
Oh, okay. Is that the one that looks fat and it's got the missile on the front?
No,
I'm thinking of something else then, aren't I?
it's I think it's gold or something like that.
It's been a long time since I've watched UFO.
It's the one that all the crew walk around in string vests.
Oh, that is giving me disturbing images now.
No, I don't want to think about
that. Ostrich 9000. I'll start again. Ostrich 90,000 says in big capital letters, "A large spider has just wandered across my living room floor. I am fine about it."
Oh, it's when you can hear it and you can't see it. That's when
it all depends on when you say large.
Mm.
Right, if it's the size of a puppy,
well,
I'd be worried about it.
If he's comfortable with it, then it probably means he's not fussed by it, which means it probably is enormous.
It's when you can't see it but hear it, and the cat runs away from it. You know it.
Michael Jackman says you can still get the Airfix 172nd Angel Interceptor.
Zesta says, I guess Telford won't be a thing this year. No, they've already announced that Telford is... Well, Telford is still a place, but the modelling show is not happening this year.
Oh, I haven't seen that announcement. So
no, I mean, even if it hadn't been cancelled, I wouldn't have recommended anybody go anyway.
We've been shouted out by Michael Jackman. What's in store? Patience.
What's in store? Yeah,
we'll get there in a minute, mate.
No, Telford is still there. I drove through it today. Well... Does the telly go black and white when Ted is on?
Yeah, it does. Yep. Black and white. Moon Interceptor has a large nose missile. Ted is correct on his sci-fi reference. Skydiver. See, I'm clever and I knows it.
What you have to remember is the only sci-fi that Ted knows is Star Trek because the women wore short skirts, UFO because women wore short skirts, and maybe the first few episodes of The Next Generation because some of the women wore short skirts, but some of the blokes did as well.
Yeah,
there's a thread there. There's a common thread you made.
Yeah, or they had purple hair.
Yeah, that wasn't what you were looking at,
Ted. Right. Yes, it's that time again. It's time for What's in Store.
What's in store?
What's in store? What's in store? What's in store? And what's in store is it?
Simoir?
Hey, it's Fox's turn for what's in store. So in a moment, we're going to go across to Fox, who will tell us all the rules for his what's in store tonight.
Yeah, while he sets himself up for what's in store, he can tell us the rules and terms and
Wait.
conditions.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll give him 5 minutes to set up for what's in store. Then we'll remind him in 5 minutes that he needs to set up for what's in store,
Yeah.
and he still won't have done it. So, yeah.
It's a big what's in store this week as well, and it's for a mug.
Yes.
Don't call him that. Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry.
It's done by a mug. Yeah, no wait.
Yes, you can win a mug this week.
Have we got a button for the mug?
Have we got a mug button?
I've got a mug button. Hang about. I'll push the mug
Or
button.
mutton, as we like to call it.
eModels mug, an eModels mug,
eModels
an
mug,
eModels
eModels mug,
mug,
an eModels mug,
eModels mug,
eModels mug,
eModels mug,
eModels mug.
eModels mug.
eModels moist.
eModels mug. Look, you can see it live.
Oh, you're messing with me diopters there.
Mug.
Right, so Fox has obviously sorted himself out now for what's in
I've
store.
not had a chance to do anything. I've got to do my own T's and C's. Right. It's my what's in store. Bonjour la classe, c'est Monsieur Renard. Asseyez-vous, écoutez et répétez. Right.
Hello, France. Can we have your vote, please?
Nil
I'm not Welsh.
Oh.
Anyway,
that was from the Welsh. Hello, France. Can we have your votes, please?
Michael Jackman says, I want a new sticker. They've got new stickers, indeed. There
Yes.
are new stickers available from eModels. If you put in an order, they'll send you one.
yep, they are sending out.
Even we don't have new stickers.
No.
They've got gold on them and everything, and they're sending them out with every order. We
I
don't have
think
any stickers to
Fox
give away.
did say we should get some, but I don't think he was too subtle.
Yeah, I said, can
Is
you
he
send us
jumping
some?
up and down while saying he wants a new sticker?
Yeah. I did say to Pete, mate, you should send us some. But at the moment, we still can't. We couldn't post them out anyway because I can't leave the house, and Ted is a million miles from a post office, so
Yeah.
so it wouldn't happen anyway. That's why we've not done them for a long time because hey, I can't go anywhere. So anyway,
over to Fox for what's in store.
what's in store? Yes, welcome everyone. It is what's in store time. I'm going to go through a list of items available in the eModels store, your one-stop shop for all your. I knocked the microphone and I killed the joke.
For all
now.
your microphone knocking needs.
The joke's dead now. Joke's dead. I'm going to go through all the items in store because that would take a while. I'm going to go through that. Wait, gin. Oh, right.
It's lucky I've not been locked on you all this time, isn't it?
Eh?
It's not.
You've not been locked on me.
Check it out.
You've not been
Oh,
locked.
sorry, that was too soon, wasn't it?
I'm coming home. Right, I'm going to go through a list of stuff that's in the store. Now, we're giving a mug away this week. So I will go through the list of items. There is a theme to these items. And what I want you to do is try and guess the theme. Now, to win a mug, you must put in the chat. If you need to be watching this, by the way, and if you're watching this and you can't see the live chat, you need to click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right of the screen to join the YouTube page so you can join the chat. If you want to win a mug, you need to put in the chat what you think the theme is, but do not write it in the chat until I come back to you and you see this wonderful visage, and this visage says, go. If you answer before that, we're going to give you the finger of shame. And ignore your answer. They were ready with it. I like that. They were ready with it and everything. I didn't even plan that. You'll get the finger of shame and you won't win anything. We'll move to the next person down who answered after I said go. Now, do keep in mind, of course, excuse me, that we don't see the same chat as you. You see the chat with you at the top because you're the person on your computer. Just because you're at the top of the chat on your screen doesn't mean you're the first person. So we go off the actual YouTube chat, which is what we see. So don't panic if we pick somebody else and you think you're first. You might not have been first. So I'm going to go through the list of items. I'm going to do a bit of a screen share. Now, there is the theme, and it's a very pertinent theme to today. So I shall share screen. I shall press that. We'll get a little bit of Colin. And then we'll get...
Just a little bit of Colin being freaks out.
Yes. So we shall crack on. Have you seen that now?
We can see that.
Yes. So I'm going to start off with something that not everybody realizes eModels actually do, and that is gift vouchers. At least, dear God, I hope they still do gift vouchers and they've not just forgotten to take off the website. Yes, they do gift vouchers. They do them in £10, £20, or 50 space pounds to give to your loved one or somebody you can't stand if they don't like models. You can give them a gift voucher so they can get whatever they want, because there's nothing worse than getting someone a model. Like a couple of years ago, a member of my family who should remain nameless, my brother, given that I build Warhammer and Gunpla, he got me like a model car, and I'm like, Oh,
Yay.
thanks. That's great. Thanks. Yeah, and a book about being old. I'm like, wow, thanks. So yeah, there's nothing worse than buying a gift for someone and it's not something they're into. You know, if somebody doesn't like motorbikes and they like tanks and you bought them a motorbike, they wouldn't be that impressed. So if you're not sure, get someone a gift voucher, £10, £20, or £50, or multiples thereof, and you can give them to them whenever you want. But this is I can't show you all three, so this is just a £20 gift voucher.
Yeah,
And it says,
and,
please select.
and if they decide they don't want to spend it, you can spend it for them. So,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
win, isn't it?
Yeah, if you fall out with them in the meantime, then bonus, you've just got yourself some vouchers, not for free.
Mhm.
But when you order them, it does say there, select the delivery option, click and collect during store hours, and we will send your voucher for free in the post. So if you buy a voucher, you're not going to get charged shipping because you're giving them money, basically, for nothing. So there you go. So yeah, if you're looking at getting someone a gift, like if it's someone's birthday or something, or bar mitzvah or whatever, get them some vouchers, then you can get what they like. They can get what they enjoy. So there you go. That is the £20 gift voucher, but £10 and £50 vouchers are also available. I hope they're still available. Next, I assume they are. Anyway, next, that's that one. We have the loading AMT 125th Ford C600 City Delivery Hostess Cake Truck. Oddly, you don't actually get to see the cab of it. They just show you the butt end.
Is that full cake?
It's full of cake, yeah.
It's
delivering delicious Hostess cake.
Does it come with full models of cake?
Yeah, the 1/25th scale cake,
Does it
so
come
they're
with
not,
any candles, Fox? And if so, how many?
I would say probably more than 3, but less than 5.
Yeah.
Now, what gets me a bit weird is it says here, freshness, freshness, hostess, kids, they go together. That's really not a well thought out catchphrase, is it? Freshness, hostess, kids. What? Makes no sense. So basically, it's a Ford C600 city delivery truck with hostess cake livery on it. If you don't know hostess, I think are the ones that make Twinkies. It's an American company, obviously.
Yeah, I'd wonder what this was about first of all, but now it's explained. Yeah,
but it's just odd that they've obviously paid Hostess to use their logo on the thing, and then they've had to just show them that rather than the actual truck. So if you know what a Ford C600 truck looks like, that's what you're getting. But it's going to be rather large because there's a fly going around my head. It's 1/25th scale, so it's going to be rather a significantly large kit. So if you like your big trucks and you cannot lie, then get yourself the AMT 1/25th C600 City Delivery Hostess Cake.
Yeah. Paul Line says moist cake.
Yes, moist. Next, we have the Italeri 1/24th Iveco or Iveco Highway 40th anniversary. It's a truck with the blue, and it says 40 on it. I don't know anything about trucks. But Italeri are well known for their truck models. They seem to be one of the few companies that actually do like high detailed truck models. I don't know if it comes with a full interior for the engine. It comes with the billion-ty decals, of course.
There's a lot.
I don't know.
I think you normally get engines with Italieri ones because they're tilt cabs, aren't they?
Yeah. I think. Oh, there's some engine bits there you can see.
I know the ones I got had engines with it.
Yeah. So I assume this is 40th anniversary of Iveco. Isn't that Ford?
It's the 40th anniversary of that particular Iveco vehicle.
Oh, cool.
Highway. Yeah.
Ah, cool. So it is the 1/24th, again, be rather large. Highway 40th anniversary kit with a billion-ty decals. Looks rather smart, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think you get figures for them. Don't Mini Art make figures as well for
Yeah. Italeri do a couple of truck stop kits where you get dudes and equipment and things like that. But the dudes kind of look like they're straight out of 1982. Yeah. One's a bit fat, and one looks particularly like Italian or French, perhaps. But they're quite good. You get lots of accessories to put on your truck and things that you'd find in a truck stop, like tools.
Zadster says it's the Italian vehicle company.
Yeah.
Iveco.
Cool. I thought it was. Oh no, it's not. That's the other one that's Ford, isn't it? I can't remember the Ford one.
Fix or repair daily.
Is it the Ford one that's Ford?
No, there's a company that's Ford, but it's not actually called Ford. They do vans and stuff. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm making that up. Anyway, next up we have the Masterbox 135th Bundeswehr German military present day, which is rather apt because I was wearing my Bundeswehr shirt earlier on today until it got too warm. Somebody was asking me the other day or somewhere about like modern figures, and modern army figures, and Masterbox do like nice selections of modern military figures. Just doing random stuff like this, like stood around. Now this one on the right is obviously an officer because he's pointing, but he's not British, so he's not actually pointing. He's waving his hand. See, the British point, the non-British just kind of wave generally in the direction of. So, although he does appear to have a snap brim hat, which is kind of cool. Yes, it's the 135th Bundeswehr German military present day to go with your 135th military vehicles. I quite like the look of them. Not really much to talk about there, but they look quite pleasant.
Yeah, I think it could be a sort of working. I forgot what I was going to say. It's going to be hard to paint the camouflage on the uniforms, perhaps.
Yeah, but you can have different color schemes, can't you?
Yeah.
It might be camouflage or a static color. But the vehicle, by the way, obviously, I shouldn't need to explain this, but the vehicle isn't included. It's just the figures you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
But Masterbox and ICM, they tend to do a lot of figure sets.
Yeah, Masterbox. Yeah, I've built some Masterbox figures, and they are pretty good to build. They're quite sharp, crisp, lots of detail on them.
Yeah, and you get a model of a bloke rummaging in his big sack. There you go. Next up, we have, and this is where I didn't get the one about Kate Winslet until you mentioned it. We have the Airfix 1/400 scale RMS Titanic gift set. Now, with being a gift set, it means you get a tiny pot of black and a tiny pot of white and a tiny pot of yellow.
And a big pot of red.
Yeah, a big pot of red and like the world's smallest brush. But that doesn't really matter because you're getting it for the kit. The paint's just a little extra bonus. But it's one of the Airfix gift sets. It's $59.99. It's one of their older toolings, of course. I've made this kit. Now it's going to be half the size of yours, Ted. So what's yours? 4 foot?
It's going to be quite a big kit, isn't it? Even as a gift set, it's going to be quite a nice. I don't know whether you'll get the rigging with it as well.
Yeah, I don't think. It says length 670, but doesn't specify. So it's length 670 non-specific units.
Yeah,
if it's not a silly question, why has it got all the rigging? It didn't have sails.
Yeah, I've got my limb.
They're all like radio antenna cables and things, aren't they, Ted?
Yes, they are.
This kind of here. It's all like
a little bit heavy for that sort of scale, but especially the going down the radio room from the air itself, it looks a bit heavy.
But it's all the cables for your Marconi radios and that were new at the time. This is a prime example of where you want to get yourself. I should have really selected some in what's in store, but some of the ammo by MIG rigging line, which is very similar to Easy Line, which a lot of people use for rigging and masts. Cables.
This is the sort of scale that the ammo by MIG rigging line would be perfect for.
Yeah, because what's on that photograph, like Ted says, that does look a bit thick. Actually, that's more like thread than.
Yeah.
I really don't recommend using any kind of thread on
the thread that came with my Revell Titanic was put straight in the drawer.
Yeah, the beauty with like things like Easy Line or the ammo by MIG rigging is you can just super glue it with a tiny particle of super glue, dink to one end. You don't have to tie a knot anywhere, and it's stretchable and it looks more realistic. So yes, you got the 1/400 scale, half the size of Ted's big boy, RMS Titanic gift set. Quite a nice little kit. That not little, but 381 parts. An older mold, but it's a good mold nonetheless. I think we've all built that one as well.
Yeah.
And then last
says that the rigging is also mast stays on them. Yes, there is as well, but we're talking about the aerial that goes across right from the front to the back.
The other stuff is like supports to hold the mast in place, isn't it? And all the rigging around the funnels.
There's funnel rigging and all sorts on that ship, so there's lots of it.
Yeah, because that is structural, isn't it? Steel cables that hold those things in place.
It looks like they've done them wrong. They're putting them over at one side.
Yeah, I know. And only three of those chimneys were actually operational. I think one was a storage room. I think one of them or two of them. One of them was there's a door at the bottom of it, and you went in. It was a storage room for like deck furniture and stuff. It was a non-functioning chimney, apparently. Anyway, so that is the 1/400 scale RMS Titanic. If you can't quite stretch to the enormous trumpet one that Ted's building at £400, get yourself one of these. Get yourself one of these. Now, the last one we should give it away now. When it loads. The MiG Productions 135th Civilian Russian Old Man.
Oi!
He's an old man and he's an old man and he ain't Russian. There you go. So that is it's the MiG Productions 135th Civilian Russian Old Man. I need say nothing more. It's a figure. MiG Productions do a lot of these like individual figure kits. You can see a load of them down there.
There is quite a resemblance to someone in the show tonight, isn't there?
It's shocking, isn't it?
He's there going, "You kids, get off my lawn!" Because
Oh,
the Russians,
Get off my
Russians,
land.
because Russians have like called Dorset accents.
I've now reached the stage where I can say to people, "Guess how old I am? Go on, have a guess. How
Are
old
you,
do you think I am?"
are you at the age, Ted, where when you first meet someone, you go, I'm 60, you know?
I'm 87, you know.
Yeah, I will be next year.
Yeah. So yeah, you could paint this and put a little speed bubble saying, "You kids with your rock and your roll and your hippity hop and your Lord music,
In my day, we'd have had national service. You kids should be doing national service.
get off my land." I don't know why we're doing that when he's Russian. We're all pretending he's like from Dorset or somewhere.
Yeah, it's because none of us want to do a Russian accent, do we?
No, probably best we don't.
So this is an old man and it's Russian.
Yeah.
What do you say about it?
So, yeah, I don't know if this is plastic or resin though. I'm not sure. I assume it's a plastic figure, but it could be a resin figure. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure at all. There's no information.
That's quite expensive for a plastic figure.
Yeah.
I think
It's quite cheap for a resin figure, though, isn't
Yeah.
It's
it?
quite fly for a white guy. Oh, no,
It
they
says
are
plastic
resin.
model figure.
That says hang on, where does it say that?
Up there. It says type
Oh, yeah.
plastic model figure.
Okay, because I'm looking at one of the other ones. Is that one? Not that one. This one, not
The
that
one
one.
that says plastic model figure.
Yeah, there's another one that says, one of them said resin. I just clicked on a minute ago, but I've lost him now. Okay, but yes, it looks like an exceptional figure. I think these are supposed to be very, very good moldings and figures and sculptures. So check it out if you'd be looking for a civilian Russian old man.
Yeah.
So we'll quickly recap. Remember, there is the theme tonight. So we have the £20 gift vouchers, £10, £50 also available. We have the Ford City Delivery Van of Hostess Cake. We have the Italeri 124th Avico 40th Anniversary Highway. We have the Bundeswehr German Military Present Day. Yeah, das ist richtig. We have the 1/400 scale RMS Titanic gift set. And last of all, we have some gnarly old man. So don't put your answer in the chat yet. Don't put your answer in the chat yet.
Don't forget, we don't know how many of these are in store. We don't know how many are on the shelf. Foxx picked these just earlier on this evening before we came.
You can unlock it from me now, by the way.
Yeah, so that's when they were. That's when they were on the shelves. But
yeah,
no, it's still there. So remember, slap it in your basket.
And remember,
it's not yours till you check it out.
And remember,
moist.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
those are all the ones for tonight.
So if you want it, buy it.
Yeah, so don't hang around.
That's the saying, don't put your answer in chat like Quano did. Are we to give Quano the finger of shame?
Finger of shame.
Finger of
don't
shame. Do it. Right, so is everybody ready? Sprue and Glue answered in advance. Go.
Finger.
Go. Sprue and Glue gets the finger of shame for answering early.
Shame.
Not saying he was right or wrong, I'm just saying he answered early. So, yep. And Ian Thompson is straight in with Ted's birthday.
Day.
Happy birthday to you.
No, we already did it. Don't get it twice. You have to wait till next year.
Not again.
So well done, whoever that was that just won. I've already forgotten.
Ian Thompson.
Ian Thompson, that's the one. Well done, Ian Thompson. You've won yourself and mug. So if you want to send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk, the address there is up on the top left of the screen. ted@emodels.co.uk. Include your name, your address, your phone number, just in case the courier wants it, and also say that you've won and mug, and we'll forward that on to the guys at eModels to get it sent out to you. But please include your phone number because sometimes they have to include that on the delivery information for the delivery guy. They won't let them send it without.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yep.
Why is that monitor behind you sideways?
Because it doesn't fit the other way.
Hooray! Is that for when you're filming in portrait mode?
Yes, it's especially for you, so I can film in portrait mode. Yeah.
Is that why I need to get the fast car to come down and slap you? I've got a little spidey sense, and it's like he's filming again.
Foxx is inwardly saying, "Turn it, turn it, turn it, turn it,
turn it over." Yeah. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was going to discuss searching YouTube and thinking, oh, why have you filmed it like that? What have you done that for? Why are you looking at the camera? Turn your sound up. Turn the music off. Yeah.
Tim Young says to you, Ted, happy birthday to you. Don't spill your Tamiya glue. Always keep modelling. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah.
We've got something else to do, haven't we, tonight?
Yeah, we have
Oh,
got a
yeah.
thing, haven't we?
Giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to do the refresh for it when I'm screen sharing so that it's
I would act all knowledgeable
No, you
here.
don't need to because it'll load in the comments at the moment you press the load in the comments button.
all right then, mate. No worries. I'll just get it prepared then. for you.
Remember, folks, we asked you last week to put some kind of comment on the video, and I can't remember what it was. If you haven't done that yet, you've got about 5 or 10 seconds until Colin presses the advert. Until Colin presses the get the comments button to add your comment. So
There you go. So I'll take it this one works the same as the last one, does it, mate?
it should do.
Yeah.
I
You get
can't
the
remember what
chance this week to win Menu Discipline. An FX 70-second scale Panavia Tornado F3 starter set.
Oh, that's what we asked. The ECIDO conversion. Yes, we asked you to put a comment about something good about living in the 80s or something.
Something
Oh, yeah.
good about the 80s, and there are a few in there. Phil Lewis says best thing about the 80s. He met his wife, married her, learned to drive, and got his first car.
Not necessarily in that order. Yeah.
Spiddy saying there's insufficient words and typey space to say what was the best thing about the 80s. So many things. So yeah.
Paul Horner says 1980s. I reached the magic age to be able to buy and actually insure a 3.0 litre a 3 litre Capri.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know it was a 3 litre Capri. I thought the GXL was the biggest one. That's 3 litre.
But then I may have been rocking around in an Ilman Imp with Starsky and Starsky and Hutch stripe on it during
You
the
were.
80s.
Mayhem says I was an 80s kid, so Transformers, G1. No, it's G1.
Yeah,
Thundercats,
Generation 1 Transformers.
Oh, the screen moved. I was reading it and I forgot to lock on it.
Thundercats, G.I. Joe Action Force, Silverhawks, all the fun 80s things, maximum processed food, minimum health.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know Action Force was a big thing because I had an Action Force truck. It was brilliant. I didn't know it was a thing.
EC Hide Ho saying the 80s best thing was the soundtrack from the Eurythmics from the movie in 1984. 1980s TV shows. Oh, don't get us on TV shows, folks.
Yeah.
18 Night Rider, Airwolf, and Miami Vice.
Yeah, the programs that were brilliant then, but now you're older, they're garbage. You're like, oh, really? I like this? Oh, dear.
Yeah, Andy M's in my neck of the woods. 1980s Star Trek TNG.
Towards the end, but yes, we'll give him that one.
Absolutely. So I'll just copy and paste the URL into the random comment picker wherever I
Does that pick random comments randomly from YouTube?
Yeah. Oh, in there, isn't it?
In there?
Yeah, it picks random comments randomly.
Randomly.
There you go. And I suppose get YouTube comments is the
That's
obvious
the one.
So we'll have a bit of that. There are 25 is the amount of YouTube or unique commenters even.
Yeah.
Ian Thompson, we've had your email. Thank you very much.
Scroll down, Colin.
Scroll down, mate.
There you go. On
So
the
big button that says start. But you have to make a noise when it does it, though. You have to make the noise for the animation.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bit like the. I'll do the noise then. Boosh.
What's that? Where's the winner then?
It says, where it says winner.
Oh yeah, sorry, mate. The winner. What a Burke. Yeah.
You think we'd be good at this by now?
Yeah, I think I deserve the finger of shame for that.
Finger of shame. Finger of shame.
The winner this week, believe it or not, is AJ with Miami Vice. No contest. Happy days. Cheers for everybody in the chat going, congrats, AJ. Helping me out, no end.
Yeah.
with a plum.
Well done, AJ. So, yeah, just send us an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. Again, at the top left of the screen. Include your name, address, and your phone number because they will need that for the courier. Name, address, and phone number. Can you just go back to the model, Chris, Cole, so we can see the hashtag?
Yeah, 2 secs, mate. It is hashtag 55301.
Yeah, so just say you've won kit, whatever it was, hashtag 55. What was it?
I'll just do a quick
There we go.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I hadn't seen the kit for what.
Yeah.
No, if you do need the email address, it's up there on the top of your screen.
Yep. You need the hashtag number just so in case when James gets the mail from Ted, James might not know what we've given away or remember. So he can find it.
Mayhem in the chat saying next week is it my what's in store? No, mine was last week, dude.
Yeah, you missed that one. It's Ted's turn next week.
Next week it's Captain Ted.
No, I'm birthday boy this week. I can.
Yeah, but next week's next week, mate.
You're not
Yeah,
next week.
Ted. Next week you're little people like the rest of us.
You're ordinary.
But I'll bring games and cake and things like that.
Well, we can't eat your cake, can we?
Mate, next week you'll be 59 3/4, mate. It's old news.
Yeah.
Yeah, all forgotten about.
You'll be down in the peanut gallery with the rest of us.
Walking
Spotlight's
away,
moved away now.
Yes. So I've got to take my badge off now. Birthday boy, have that been wearing all
That
this.
spotlight has really pants batteries that don't last very long. So
We don't want to know about your pants batteries.
steady now. They're mine are mains.
Yeah, so well done, AJ, for winning
Yeah,
that.
well done, dude. So yeah, we've had Ian's thing for the mug. So AJ, get us a mail in for the
Tornado.
Yeah, that's the one. My memory's terrible. I tell you, Bob.
Yeah, goldfish memory.
Mm.
Oh well. God. It's right. Have we done everything? I think
I think we've done everything. Everything is done. We can go home now.
everything is done. So we've done. We give things away. We've had a bit of a chat. We've had a laugh. We've done Death of the Week, a Birthday of the Week.
Yeah, got birth of the week.
Death of the week, death of the week, death of the week.
Yeah, hatching, spatching, dispatching, hatching, matching, and dispatching. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the evening. Does it? I was thinking it's locked on Colin then, but it's not. It's because I've clicked the button.
Are you having a moment, Ted?
I thought it had froze because I've still got the Paul's YouTube show up from last week with Foxx on it.
Well, actually, I'll be honest. When you cut to that and it was last week's show, I was saying something, and at that exact moment, it was showing me moving, and it was kind of in sync with what I was saying. So I'm like, how am I on this week's show on last week's show? What?
Yeah.
My brain had to do a bit of gymnastics there. I'm like, wait, what? I had to check the date on the video to make sure you had the right one.
Right. Well, it's 10:30.
Crikey.
It's time. I think the nurse is coming out to put us all fellas to bed.
There's the screens.
It's nurse. I remember the days when I were a lad.
You kids with your
You don't
hippity
remember
hop
that
and
far back.
your rock and your roll. Get off my lawn.
Kids today, they don't know what it's like, do they?
For some reason, an old man voice doesn't sound right unless you do a Yorkshire accent or a Cornwall accent.
Yeah, a Cumbria one.
No, they just sound old anyway.
No,
12-year-old kid. No,
That
I'm
this
12
image
years
of us
old.
four in the last of the summer wine with Chris at the back with his Pikachu hat on, giving it to Oliver. I don't know why that popped to my head. I'm a man of a certain.
So Chris is basically compo with his Pikachu.
He is really proper comp. I don't know.
We'd have to get him some welly boots with the socks outside.
Yeah. So if you want, so on that, if you want Chris to continue wearing the Pikachu hat,
Yes.
send us an email. Send us an email, and I'll forward them on to Chris.
In fact, if you want Chris to continue wearing a Pikachu hat, watch the show. Everyone who watches it clearly, obviously, therefore wants Chris to wear the Pikachu hat.
You could just watch the beginning of this week's show again, because then I'll be wearing it again.
No.
Yeah, but it gets in winter, so he'll be able to wear it for longer. He might even last a whole show.
It gets very warm. It's woolly.
Behind you, Chris, all I can see is it saying Namtab.
Good night, all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Press the button before it gets any worse. Good.
I'll push the
Take
button.
care, everyone. Adios.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you. Bye. Thanks for your hat.